Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to go on a shopping trip, but not to a store. We're diving into that hidden algorithmic world that really powers your online purchases. Let's pull back the curtain on how AI advertising guides you from that very first browse all the way to the final click.
You know the feeling? You mention wanting new running shoes out loud, and boom, the next thing you know, your social media feed is just wall-to-wall ads for sneakers. We've all been there, right? That creepy feeling of being watched. So what is actually going on? Is your phone listening, or is it something else entirely?
Well, what you're experiencing is something researchers call the AI-driven customer journey. Think of it as a carefully crafted path designed just for you by algorithms using enormous amounts of data. Their goal? To predict what you want, sometimes before you even know you want it. In this explainer, we're going to walk that path together, step by step.
So, how does this whole journey kick off? It all starts with that first encounter, that moment you discover a new product you've never heard of. But as you're about to see, in the world of AI, that first hello is almost never a coincidence. It's the first, very calculated step on a path laid out just for you.
Okay, does this look familiar to you? It's the classic playbook. You're just scrolling, right? Not planning on buying a thing, then an ad catches your eye. You click around, check out their website, and then you leave. But the journey's not over. Oh no. A day later, that same exact product pops up again, but this time, it has a tempting little discount attached. And before you even know what's happened, you've clicked buy.
And this is just a perfect example of how incredibly effective that path can be. This quote from a research participant, Ellen, she just nails it. She wasn't even looking for anything, but the algorithm found her. It understood exactly what would grab her attention, and it knew that a special offer would be that final little nudge she needed to become a customer.
Of course, for every single ad that feels like it's reading your mind, there's another one that misses the mark so badly it's almost funny. The system is definitely not perfect, and its mistakes can be, both frustrating and, honestly, pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. Like Emma from the study. She was looking for a wedding dress, and the AI showed her one she absolutely hated. It correctly identified the words wedding dress, but it completely failed to grasp the pretty crucial context of personal taste. It just goes to show you, while these systems are really powerful, they often lack any kind of real nuance or intuition.
And this brings us right to the heart of the matter, the central tension of our digital lives, the trade-off. Every single time we go online, we are making a bargain, whether we realize it or not. We're trading something really valuable for the promise of a faster, easier, smarter experience.
So what exactly is this trade-off? Well, on one side, you get incredible convenience. AI offers us speed, relevant choices, and a seemingly endless variety of stuff. But there's always a cost, isn't there? We might be giving up our privacy, our ability to make choices without being nudged, and maybe even our chance to discover things outside of our little algorithmic bubble.
So why do we make this trade so often, so willingly? Well, a huge part of the answer boils down to one simple thing: speed. We live in a world that values getting things done fast, and our online behavior totally reflects that. We want what we're looking for, and we want it now.
And this quote from Kevin just perfectly captures this whole dilemma. He knows he should be careful with cookies, those little data trackers that power all these ads. He tries to do the right thing and disable them. But in the moment when that impatience kicks in, convenience wins. That simple accept all button is just too easy to click.
But there's another psychological piece to this puzzle: decision fatigue. We think we want endless options, right? But the reality is that having too much choice can be completely paralyzing. And that's where AI-driven recommendations promise to swoop in and save the day.
Paul's experience here is something we can all relate to. That feeling of just endlessly scrolling through pages and pages of products, getting more confused and overwhelmed with every single click. In those moments, we're actually kind of grateful when an algorithm steps in and says, hey, based on what I know, you'll probably like this one.
But what happens after the purchase? The relationship with the AI doesn't just end at the checkout. In this next phase, that feeling of being watched can get even more intense, and the journey can take a pretty unsettling turn.
At the core of all this is a feeling that researchers call perceived surveillance.
It's that undeniable, creepy sensation that you're being constantly monitored, that your private chats and your browsing history are being vacuumed up and used to sell you things.
And Emma's reaction here is just so powerful. The feeling isn't just about privacy, it's about being manipulated. When an ad feels too specific, too personal, it crosses a line from being helpful to being intrusive. It feels less like a friendly recommendation and more like an invasion of your space, and that can lead to some serious mistrust.
And that mistrust gets even worse when these AI-driven tactics feel downright deceptive. One of the most frustrating examples is a classic sales trick, the lowball technique, which has found a whole new and very annoying life in the digital age.
And CD's frustration here shows you exactly what happens next. You see an ad for the perfect thing, you click on it, you're ready to buy, only to find out it's sold out. The website helpfully suggests other things, but it already feels like a bait and switch. You feel tricked. The result? It's not a different sale, it's a lost customer and completely broken trust.
So, with all these frustrations and ethical landmines, is there a better way forward? Well, the researchers behind this study say yes, absolutely. The solution isn't to get rid of AI altogether, but to start demanding a better, more responsible journey for all of us.
They propose a framework that's built on 3 really clear pillars. First, enforce. Brands have to be held accountable for their data practices, period. Second, empower. We, the users, must be given simple, clear controls over our own information. And third, engage. Brands have to build trust the old-fashioned way, through transparency and real customer relationships, not just sneaky algorithms.
So what does that actually look like in the real world? It means clear disclaimers that tell you upfront how AI is shaping your experience. It means cookie pop-ups that are actually easy to understand and customize. It means toning down the relentless, aggressive retargeting. It means you should be able to see the data a brand has on you, and ultimately, it means real accountability when things go wrong.
So this AI-driven customer journey, it's definitely here to stay, but its future isn't set in stone. Our awareness and what we demand from these companies can shape what it becomes. So the next time an algorithm shows you that perfect item, just take a second and ask yourself, am I looking at a helpful assistant or a hidden hand? The answer might just change the way you shop forever.